Hello and welcome to the Star Wars Shatterpoint Stats Center. I'm your host Steve, and join me as I look back over the 7 events held across 7 countries this past weekend with 53 players taking part. So, along with the 7 events that were rated tournaments, there were also a bunch of other events that happened this weekend, all unrated though, so I won't be looking at those, but there seems to have been a lot of Shatterpoint played this weekend, particularly across Europe. So, let's have a look. And we start in Poland with the Shatterek W Cube. So in first place we have Gnieweko, I guess, who unfortunately did not submit a list, but they went 3-0 and they brought Cad and Mando. Then in second we have Calby62, and they were running Iden, Hask, and then the ISF, the Grand Inquisitor, Death Trooper Escort, and the Dark Troopers, Boss, Fixer 7 Scorch, and then Hunter, Crosshair, and Echo and Tech. So interesting to see Crosshair and Echo and Tech there. Quite box driven on that bottom 2 lists there. And they were running Sabotage Showdown, and they did indeed run the Iden and GI twice and got the 2 wins, and then lost in the final round with the Boss and Hunter, and they went 2-1. Then Kubakulos in third, no list, was Boss, Hunter, and Plo Koon and Anakin, and then the final 2-1 again, no list. It's Tojek, and they were running the Armourer and the Mandalorian. So, well done to Gnieweko, and well done, on the 3-0. Over to Spain now for 12 parsecs to Freak Wars. And this looks to have been quite a well-attended event, and we have 1-4-0, and it is Lunero who wins the event. And they were running Cassian, K2SO, and the Rebel Commandos, so standard build there. Then Solo, Bodhi Rook, and Baze and Chirrut, again, quite a standard build. Then Kit Fisto, Obi-Wan Kenobi out of hiding, and the Clone Commandos, with Kiadi Mundi, Shakti, and the 501st on shifting priorities. And their priority was indeed the Mando Cassian list, getting the Anakin and Kiadi list out the way nice and early. Oh, Anakin though, wasn't it? Kit Fisto here. Interesting. So there's a little discrepancy there. I thought it was Kit Fisto on the list, but then Cassian and Mando. Very odd. So we got Solo listed here, but we've got Mando on the thing there. So I'm not sure what's happened here, whether the list is wrong or whether the input is wrong. But anyway, it appears to be the Cassian list was chosen 3 times there. So yeah, a little bit surprising there on that one. Then in second place, the first of our 3-1s, we have Cappy. And Cappy was running Lord Maul, 3rd sister and 5th brother, with Moff Gideon, Death Trooper Escort, and the 4th sister. And then Obi-Wan Kenobi, Captain Rex, and the Clone Commandos, and Hunter, Crosshair, and the 501st. So Cappy played both squads twice, so Maul and Gideon. I really like the look of that list, so Maul and Gideon there, and then Obi Hunter to finish out, going 3-1. And then the final of the 3-1s is that a General Veers I see. So Chek Chu was running Moff Gideon, Gideon Hask, and the Dark Trooper, so double Gideon on the table there. Then Thrawn, Stormtrooper Sergeant, and the Stormtroopers, Krennic, Death Trooper Specialist, and Shore Troopers, and you love to see it, Veers, Death Trooper Escort, and the Snow Troopers on first contact. Wow, what a mad lad. And it's Veers being played twice. What a combination there. So we've got Veers and Gideon. Then we've got Thrawn and Krennic. So that completes the destiny. Then we've got Krennic and Gideon. And finally, Krennic again and Veers. And Veers getting 2 of the 3 wins. You love to see it. Fantastic stuff. And yes, congratulations on the 4-0 and those 2 3-1s with some creative lists there. So yes, well done, Lunero. We continue round Europe and we go to the United Kingdom for the GT Gaming Series. And again, a hotly contested event, but we have 1, 4 and 0, and it is Phil Johnson. For those of you who are not aware, Phil is also a content creator, Tabletop Impulse, and there will be a review video from him, I am sure, later on today. So let's have a look at the list. I think this is the same list that Phil's been running recently with Dooku, Jango Fett and the Magna Guard, Asajj, Nosseri and the Aquadroids, and then Cassian, K2SO and the Rebel Commandos, along with Leia, Bodhi and Baze and Chirrut on Sabotage Showdown. And Phil played the Leia Cassian list 3 times, played the Separatists after going 2 and 0, so decided to play the Separatists in the round 3 there, so I'm sure on his video he'll give his reason why. He also managed to play Sabotage Showdown for all 4 games, so well done Phil, and big well done on the 4 and 0, I believe that is his first tournament win. Then in second place we have Jan, and Jan going 3 and 1, and Jan was running Charming Leia, K2SO and Lando and R2, Solo, Ezra and the Rebel Commandos, and then Kiadi Mundi Shakti and the 501st, with Mace, Padawan Ahsoka and the ARFs on shifting priorities. And Jan favoured both lists evenly, so the PLC and Han got played at the end and the start of the day, and then the Mace and Kiadi list were the 2 middle games. And then finally, we have Dr. Monologue, who unfortunately did not submit a list, going 3 and 1 with Riff, Luminaria, GI and Iden Versio. So yes, big well done to Phil there for the 4 and 0. Looks like a very competitive event. To Italy now for the SWP Jedi The Fallen Order, and here we have 3 and 1s, no 4 and 0, and it came down to strength of schedule to split the top 2. And in first place we have Judge Assault, and a name we are familiar with from Italy, and Judge Assault was running General Grievous, Nosseri and the Aquadroids, Riff, Kalani and the B1s, then Mace Windu, Rex and the ARF Troopers, with Padme, Pond and Sev and Scorch, and this will be the new mission there, so let's have a look. And Judge Assault favoured the Padme Mace list, and his only loss actually came with the Grievous and Riff list there. Then the next of the 3 and 1s was XR Simo, and they were running the Mandalorian, Bo-Katan and the Covert Mandos, the Armourer, Paz Vizsla and the Clan Kreese, then Iden, Gideon and the Dark Troopers, and GI, Third Sister and Fifth Brother on Sabotage Showdown. And it seems that the Mando and Armourer list was favoured 3 times, and the loss came, unfortunately, in the final round versus Judge Assault there. And then finally, the last of the 3 and 1s, we have David B, and they were running Vader, Wolf and Phil's clones. Wow, wasn't expecting to see Phil's clones today. With Boss Fixer and Seven Scorch. Then Maul, Crosshair and the Weekway Pirates. With Luminara, Django and the Wolf Pack. Very interesting build there on Never Tell Me the Odds. And it was the Vader and Boss list that gets played 3 times. And the loss comes with the Luminara and Maul list in round 1. So yes, congratulations to all 3 of the 3 and 1s, but in particular, Judge Assault for picking up the win. Continuing in Europe, we go to Germany for Shatterpoint in Rupin Arena. And unfortunately, none of the players here submitted an SPT-coded list, unlike in the Italian event, where all players submitted an SPT-coded list. So here we have H3M3 winning the event, going 3 and 0, and they were running Anakin, Kiadi, Mace, and Boss. Then in second place, also going 3 and 0, we have Rob Limob, and they were running Leia, Freedom Fighter, Logray, Jin, and Kanan. And then the only 2 and 1 was Reklawi Wikes, I guess, with Gideon, GI, Vader 1, and Iden Versio. So yes, unfortunately no lists there, but well done to the 2, 3 and O's, particularly H3, M3 for squeaking the win. And our final event in Europe takes us to Sweden for the LBK Shatterpoint 25 Thremier. So as we can see, this is a Thremier event. And in first place, we have Adam Lind, a name that we are very familiar with at the top end of these tables. And they were running Boss, Fixer, and 7 Scorch, with Hunter, Wrecker, and Omega in the 212, and then Luminara, Crosshair, and the Wolfpack, with shifting priorities as the mission. And it was a Boss Anchor with Luminara played once and then Boss Hunter played twice. Then in second place we have David, again familiar name to us here, and they were running Kiadi Mundi, Shakti and the 501st, Obi-Wan, Padawan Ahsoka and the 212, and then Mace, Rex and the ARF Troopers, and that was the new mission there, strategic positions. And David played an Obi. Apparently only played Obi Mace. So the third list wasn't actually played. So I don't know whether how strict the event was or whether someone's inputted the result incorrectly. But there we go. And then the final 2 and 1 was Henrik. And Henrik was running Grand Inquisitor, Third Sister, and the Elite Squad Troopers with Jedi Hunter Vader, Stormtrooper Sergeant, and Fifth Brother, and then Moff Gideon, Death Trooper Escort, and Fourth Sister. And Henrik had the bye in the first round, and then not sure what they played in the second round as it's not been inputted, but the third round was GI and Moff Gideon. So, congratulations to Adam for the 3 and 0 and an excellent weekend in Europe. And then our only US rated event this weekend is the Shatterpoint Showdown. And here we have a 3 and 0 from Alcazelta Ryan, and they were running Cassian, Sabine, and Baze and Chirrut, with Kanan, Ezra, and the Rebel Commandos, then Hera, Callus, and the Rebel Pathfinders, with Leia, Lobot, and Lando and R2 on shifting priorities. So a lot of Spectre in there. Let's see how the breakdown appears. So it's a Cassian Leia once, and then Cassian Kanan twice. Not sure why Hera hasn't been played. Again, maybe the event wasn't particularly strict, but great to see some combinations there. Then in second place, going 2 and 1, we have Dylan Maz, and Dylan was running Anakin, Cody. Wow, what a shock here. Phil's clones earlier, and then Cody on the table. You don't expect to see this. So yeah, brilliant to see Cody on the table with the 5-0 first, then Boss Fixer 7 Scorch, Hunter, Wrecker and Omega, and the Republic Clone Commandos with Obi-Wan, Rex, and the 212th. So yes, one of those lists very much not like the others, with Cody, the 5-0 first, and Anakin there. Brilliant to see. Again, Dylan appears to only have run one list here, so Obi and Boss. So perhaps this was only an actual showdown event, and some people have submitted Premier lists, I guess. And then finally, the last 2 and 1 is Rock, and they were running Hunter, Crosshair, and Echo and Tech with Vader, Jedi Hunter, Padawan Ahsoka, and the ARFs. Boss Fixer 7 Scorch, and then Mace Windu, Rex, and the 5-0 first on Sabotage Showdown. And again, we've only seen 2 primaries, so it's Mace and Vader. So very cool there. So leaving the boss at home. So yes, well done to Ryan there for the 3 and 0 and another great event. And that brings us to the end of the Stats Centre for this week. So as I said, lots of events happening around Europe. Great to see so many countries playing Shatterpoint. And as I said before as well, there were a good handful of events that were all unrated, so they don't feature in my recaps. But there were plenty of other people playing Shatterpoint this weekend, getting ready for Adepticon at the end of the month. So all that remains for me to say is, if you've enjoyed the video, please hit the like and subscribe, follow, ding the bell, you know the YouTube stuff, and I will see you all very soon for the next video. Bye for now.